As Women Who Rock, we believe that gender diversity in mining is an important issue. And we want to be an active part of promoting it and improving gender diversity in mining. We do this through events such as this one tonight.
I'd like to take this moment and thank all of our sponsors and partners. We all know that our industry is going through tough times, and allocating resources in this environment requires conviction and courage.
We're trying to empower women in the workplace by teaching them or showing them different ways to dress to be more empowered in interviews or on site during business development meetings.
I think the whole point of it is that, you can still be a woman, a very feminine woman, if you choose to be that in a male-dominated industry and still be successful.
I'm a geologist, exploration geologist, so I spend most of my time outside in the field. I just got back from Africa. I was in Africa yesterday, and so it's really different from what I'm used to.
Oh, I'm nervous. This is definitely out of my comfort zone, but the opportunity presented itself, and I know we're all really excited about it. So.
Without further ado, I'd like to thank and congratulate both Elena and Claudia on audaciously putting together an exceptional event, and thanking them for giving us the platform to share our story to what I view as the most coveted audience of young professionals, of executives, of fearless women who are really the leading ladies behind, I would argue, every designer's fashion collection.
We kind of have a twofold intent. The first is to challenge the stereotype that mining is an industry that is largely made up of men, although sadly that is true to a large extent. But there are some very successful and important women in the industry, so we want to call attention to that. And secondly, we'd like to promote the opportunities in the industry to people that might otherwise have a negative image of mining or might not see it as a place where they'd want to build their career. How important of a factor is fashion within a career setting? Is it a determining factor on someone's career success or lack of success?
In a boardroom, if you walk in looking sloppy, dated, unconfident, it says so much about you before you even open your mouth. So yeah, I think it's kind of important. In any role I've been, I've always looked at somebody who is senior to me, who I respect, who I aspire to. I always dressed for the job that I wanted, not the one that I had.
I think fashion is more of a tool that you should use. It's mandatory for you to feel good, and part of feeling good is looking good from the ground up.
Your own self-esteem, I think, comes from what you wear and how confident you feel. So if you're looking good, you're feeling good, and therefore that can actually help you in your own career stakes, because I think self-confidence is something from a career perspective that's really needed.
I think the biggest thing for me is comfort. Now before George and Lisa, I upset you with comfort. I'm not preaching yoga pants here. What I'm really saying that success is all about comfort in your own skin, and that's where fashion comes in.
There's two distinctive dress codes within our organisation. There's clearly the dress code that sits within our head office and regional environments, and that's very much the corporate type of dress. And from what I've seen from the Toronto folks, you're all very well dressed, so I don't think there's any problems there that they uphold that. From a site perspective, it differs from site to site, mainly around the fact that we have very different weather climates. Some of our folk in Russia, for example, have to battle minus 50 and 60 degrees, so their dress code is going to be very different from what we would have in Africa, for example.
I started out in South Africa, and needless to say, my first job was 4 hours out of the major city. And, it was on a mine site. And suddenly arriving there with my pinstripe shoes and my beautiful shoes didn't do it. Because it wasn't just for me, it was the people that I was dealing with. They were pretty uncomfortable. I very quickly had to adapt my wardrobe to my environment and find something again that I'm comfortable in.
While for the most part the struggle for women's equality in the boardroom, the shop floor, and elsewhere has come a long way, there's still a long way to go. Despite the long hours and dedication, women continue to be underrepresented in a number of fields, and of course mining is no exception.
What you're all demonstrating this evening is that there's no limit to the very creative ways we can be catalysts in supporting the economic advancement of women from coast to coast to coast. This event shows that by working together, we can change perceptions and inspire new thinking.
Tonight's event is a reflection of how far our mining industry has come and how far it can go. And there are huge opportunities for skilled females of all ages and skill sets to enter the workforce in the decade ahead.
It was really fun. It was really interesting to see the panel and some really beautiful fashion choices in the show, so I was really glad to be here.
To be in a room with such a dynamic group of women and to learn about some of the glass ceilings and the barriers that still exist in the mining industry, very powerful for me. Really treasure this opportunity to learn more and meet so many great women. And also the tie into the fashion industry. What a great concept and idea. I'm just thrilled to be here.
I think it's very important. I mean, it's a conversation we're having in the industry about diversity. So these events help that conversation, help make change happen, change that must happen.
This is really sort of out of the box for our industry, and I think it's a great opportunity for women to network.